Hey everyone, and welcome back to Master Site. Today I have Game 4 of Adepticon, where we face off against a familiar foe, and that would be Jeff Schiltgen, and he's bringing back the Ogres. It was just last year we played him this exact matchup. My list was a little different. I think his list has changed slightly. Um, but yeah, it was a. It's always a difficult game with Jeff. He's a tough opponent, and he's perfected these ogres. But we're both kind of in the same boat. I think neither of us have played the army we're playing right now for since last year. Um, so yeah, it'll be a fun time. It's always a great game with Jeff. So let's go ahead, take a look at his list, and see how much pain we're about to face. So he starts off with 3 regiments of the warriors and a horde of warriors, 3 hordes of siege breakers. He has the boomer chariot with the black powder upgrade, sacred horn, so 9-inch stealthy bubble that does nothing against us, but it's an amazing piece to have when it works. Triple sergeants with heavy crossbows, triple warlocks, all with lightning bolts, and Namagrok. So total of 15 drops, 26 unit strength. Very lean list. He's keeping all the bodies that he has in that list, but as over the past couple of years, the points have increased for some of these units. He's had to shave off some of the magic items and stuff. So he doesn't have the waiver mitigation on the siege breakers like he used to. He can't take the drain life with the warlocks like he used to. So the list has definitely become a little bit more tame, but so is my list because I don't have Aura Spell Ward anymore, and those lightning bolts are going to hurt. So let's jump in the game here and see just how much we're going to get hurt with those lightning bolts. So the scenario we're playing is Raze. Um, so I believe Jeff started by placing the tokens. He decided he's putting 2 on one side and 1 on the other, and I did the mirrored opposite, putting 2 on one side, 1 on the other. I wanted to spread him out. Either he's going to go aggressive and go after 2 pieces and hopefully leave 2 more vulnerable, or he's going to defend 2 pieces, giving me 1, and then I am going to try to sneak another one out, get lucky. I have no delusions that we're on the back foot on this game. I don't have the oomph to punch through the siege breakers, and his lightning bolt is able to clear out a lot of my stuff now. He's just hitting on 4s, wounding on 2s or 3s against pretty much everything I have. So, and Jeff is a very good player. He's not going to give us flanks and whatnot, and he has a lot of units, so it's very easy for him to kind of protect his flanks. So, no delusions of this game, especially with deployment. We'll look at here. He is not going to let me get around him, so I am going to have to just try and play scenario and be as cagey as I can. So anyway, his whole left flank he left open, so he's giving me 1 token out there for free. And then you see he deployed on the right. So in here we got Siegebreaker Horde, Warrior Horde, Siegebreaker, Siegebreaker. His warrior regiments are 1 in the back there, and then 2 on the far right here. His chariots, this mammoth guy here. Namagrok sitting next to the chariot with 1 of the sergeants. He has all 3 warlocks in the little pond here, and then 2 of the sergeants further out to the left. And as you can see, both my tokens are over here. He put 1 token over here behind this building, which actually kind of helps me. just don't feel like he can really rush that effectively with the building. Building helps him with protecting flanks and stuff, but it is still pretty small building, so it's going to be difficult to protect the flank entirely. My deployment, I went ahead and put a horde of scarecrows down on the left to go pick up that one token out there. A couple of scarecrows in the middle with soul flares behind. With my triple stack this game, I put the tormentors behind the soul flares. And my main thought for this is all of his lightning bolt is able to see over top of my scarecrows, and targeting my defense 3 low nerve unit is actually a really good option for him. So I would rather him just target the scarecrows and hopefully keep these tormentors alive a little bit longer by having him shoot through 3 layers here. So the horror riftweaver's actually pretty well protected, especially when I put him in cover. And then I'm okay with him shooting at the butcher. On the right, I am, like I said, I am gonna try to play for it, and I really feel like my reliance for actually playing on it is gonna come from Wind Blast shenanigans. So that's what I did over here. I have one Soul Flare and both of my Mind Screeches out here, so I'm gonna try to you know lightning bolts and whatnot. See if I can pick off some wounds early, get rid of a unit maybe at range, and then jump on to one of these tokens. But it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to just wait and see what opportunities he gives me. But he's played against me before, so he knows how this wind blast stuff will work, and I expect he's gonna defend against it. Having the experience that he has. So, um, yeah. So rest of my stuff here is horde of scarecrows, soul flares, and tormentors behind them. Flesh Ripper here, Flesh Ripper there, the Horror Riftweaver, and then I did put the Dread Fiend way out on the flank, thinking, well, if he doesn't block it off, I might be able to run past and pivot in to get behind his line with that thing. Otherwise, I do have the ability to still hex one of these spellcasters here or Nom over the hill if I get first turn. So this is how we're looking before the game starts. First turn in Raze is very important. It's extremely good to have. And before our game, we were these guys next to us were just being so goddamn loud. They're having fun. That doesn't sound like it should be happening. Uh, so yeah, Jeremy and Drew were playing, and they were having a good time. So I don't get first turn, which really stinks. So we're definitely on the back foot here. Um, yeah, I didn't get the roll off or anything. I didn't get to pick sides or anything like that. Jeff's dice are on, and that's scary. A good general with some good dice, it's gonna be hard to beat. So he moves up fairly aggressively, keeps his warlocks all in the cover still, but can shoot out, no big deal. And just kind of positions like so, maximizes lightning bolts and everything. So his shooting targets are my hordes of scarecrows here and here. So all 3 lightning bolts plus the crossbows over here all went in there, and Nam and the one crossbow here went into there. Um, and man, did he do some damage, especially on the right hand side. Nam has lightning bolt 7 plus the 5 shots from the crossbow, and I'm pretty sure Nam did 6 wounds out of 7 lightning bolt, and then the crossbow did another 2 wounds. So I took 8 wounds over on this unit from a total of 13 shots, and it hurts. And I think I had about the same, like 9 or 10 wounds on this unit, which is expected when you have 18 lightning bolts coming at you. Uh, So yeah, it's a rough start, boys. Let's see what we can do. So we just start moving forward as expected. I'm not really trying to play aggressive here. He's already on these tokens over there. Getting into the middle doesn't matter until the very end of the game. The worst thing I feel like that can happen is if I try to be aggressive, he gets his value out of his combat units and his shooting units all at the same time for the rest of the game. I feel like it's just a recipe for disaster and for me to get tabled sooner than later. So um, yeah, this unit's the one with J boots. I'm still kind of worried about him. I don't know, possibly trying to take the sergeant around this side of the terrain. He is set up to where he can pivot and run this way. I don't block a 12-inch, but I'm not moved up far enough to even threaten a charge there. But um, oh, and I put my Ronnie on this unit way out here, so that unit has inspiring and try to keep it alive. I figure it's the safest bet I have. He can pick off anything else he wants with Lightning Bolt in my army, so might as well play it safe with that. Yeah, so and then I move forward a little bit over here. I do give him some charges. I don't let the hordes have a charge option this turn, but I do give these regiments up here options to charge these butcher flesh rippers. Um, I don't give them an option to charge the dread fiend though. So, and then on my shooting, I shoot at this regiment up here on the hill, so no cover. And respectful. I think I get 4 wounds on it, so very happy with that result. But wind blast wise, I either wasn't in range or he had, as you can see, all these units angled properly to where wind blasts would not affect anything. So, like I said, he's experienced against this list. You know, it's not going to be easy. So, going into his turn two, and I at least feel comfortable that he's not going to be able to burn any of the tokens this turn. So, we got that going for us. But what I don't feel comfortable with is his shooting. So you can see here, both hordes of scarecrows were picked up in top of turn two because Nam doing 6 wounds the first turn was ridiculous. So he decided, let's repeat it. And I think he did maybe 5 wounds this turn, but he got 6 hits, and I'm pretty sure he just rolled 1-1 to wound. So yeah, so we lost a horde of scarecrows that I was not expecting to lose in 2 turns of lightning bolt one 7 lightning bolts, so 14 lightning bolt and 10 crossbow shots. Um yeah, I was expecting to lose the other one to 20 crossbow shots and what is that, 1836 lightning bolt. Yeah, that'll happen. I'm okay with that. But this other one's crazy. And he just kind of moves up, shuffles up a little bit. He's just, using the building to protect himself, block some line of sight. So Jeff's doing good, preventing me from getting into, his hordes with flanks and overwhelming amounts of units. So, uh, like I said, nothing unexpected here. Jeff's a good player. He knows how to do this. So, but yeah, there's our horde where our horde used to be, and the other horde used to be. So this is how it looks for bottom two for me. And losing 2 hordes is definitely something that I feel like kind of forced my decision here. So as you can see, he's piled in. There's really, he has a blocker here. There's no way I'm breaking through 2 hordes of siege breakers and having enough unit strength in range to actually touch this. I think that if I was charging the front of this unit of siege breakers, I wasn't even within 3 inches. So, and I'm out of charge range or sight for this unit here. So, there's no way I get this token. But this one, I'm saying there's a chance. So we'll take a closer look at what I decide to do here. So I do burn the far left one, and this unit turned in, so it's going to start walking towards the center, just to be relevant maybe later on. We're just kind of stalling here. My butcher decides, we'll just kind of dodge behind these trees here for a little bit. I decided to use this building to my advantage, blocking myself off. So I got a Horror Riftweaver, and these guys are all in the flank of him. Anybody that can see him, they can't fit. And then these guys, everybody's in the flank except for this first Siegebreaker unit. But as long as I wind blast it back 1 inch, which I have this unit to do that, then it will become a flank charge. So he won't be able to complete it. And as you can see over on the right, I decide to triple charge a fresh regiment. This is where I was wishing, damn, I would have rather put the wounds I did over here onto this unit. That would have been a lot safer of a bet here. So my goal here is I have 3 unit strength, um, and I have 2 wind blasts. So if I wind blast this unit back, I think I only need 1 or 2 inches for it to be outside of 3. When that's 2 unit strength that gets pushed off of it. And then if I wind blast the chariot unit, it's only unit strength 1, but that's enough to push it back. That leaves Nam. If I kill this unit in combat, that leaves Nam at 1 and the ogre sergeant at 1. And I have 3 unit strength all within 3 inches. So you're saying there's a chance. But this is a 12-14 with defense 5, so I'm not hindered with anybody, but it's not great odds. I think I did the math. I think I'm gonna need like a 6 twice on averages, which is not where I want to be. So, um, but nonetheless, like I said, I feel like we have to commit to it at this point. This might be the only opportunity we get to actually take this token in this game. And if we take that token, we already have the other one on the far left. Uh, I have no delusions of me being able to hold this the entire game. So he's going to get the middle. He's going to get this one. Then it becomes, can we delay long enough so that he doesn't get any other tokens? Um, and if we can, it's a draw. So that's what I'm looking at right now is how do we fight for a draw? The wind blast was successful. We pushed that guy back. We pushed that guy back. Combat. We also wind blasted other stuff here. He didn't protect this horde from a wind blast, so I went ahead and did that here, and I think I got like 4 inches or 5 inches, so we pushed him back all the way over there. Which again, just doing the delay tactic we were talking about. That's all we want: delay, delay, delay. But the combat over here doesn't go the way we planned. We roll a little bit under. I think we only did like 5 wounds total between everybody. Uh, so with the dread, we would need like a 9 twice or 8 twice, I think. Yeah. So we didn't get it. Unfortunate. We're definitely going to get punished for that. Threw away some, valuable units because of it, but such is life. So yeah, we gotta figure out another way to get a token. Anyway, so Jeff's turn. He just marches right back in there and says, let's fight in the middle. I don't want to fight, Jeff. So, and then he moves forward like so. Yeah, he takes the flank here, takes a double flank there. I think I do waver these ogres at the very least, so they're not fighting me. So that's nice. Um, yeah, and that 6 token there. Oh, I guess I did 6 wounds to him. So that 6 token here is actually this unit. So 6 wounds. I needed a 7 twice with the dread on these guys. So But yep, didn't get it. So yeah, this is his movement over here. This is how we look at after his turn 3. His shooting, though, still needs to go. So he takes off a fresh unit of Soul Flares. Kind of expecting that. He kills the Dread Fiend in the flank. He kills the Butcher Flesh Ripper in the flank. Kind of expecting all that. So yeah, this is my turn now. I just start marching forward with this unit. I do get into the forest outside of front arc of the siege breakers with my butcher just to project a threat basically. Along with that, I am putting the siege breakers in the flank of my scarecrows, but because of their base size, they're not going to be able to fit behind past the what's it called? This unit. What's it called? Butcher. Yes. So just protecting myself here in any way we can. Um, yeah, and then I decide that we're just gonna keep hiding back here, but we do have to at least clog up his lines. So let me show you here. So this is where so we double charge this unit with the stalkers and the soul flares that we have. And you'll see this unit here in this picture now got wind blasted sideways. So it's behind these siege breakers. I'm just clogging up his lines as best I can with these types of moves. And this unit's not able to pivot and turn to the right, so it's stuck. Uh, because these siege breakers in front of it, it's not able to do double charges. He's not able to countercharge one unit and open up space. So it just helps me again do a delay tactic is all. So um yeah, so my Butcher Flesh Ripper countercharges back in there. In order to get that flanks wind blast, I had to wind blast this guy this way. The other one's just staying put so that it can shoot at um, these guys that had some wounds on them. Try to, lightning bolt them off or get a waiver maybe. Just trying to do a little something here because right now I'm not able to get to these tokens. Um, One thing that I did look at these tormentors, which you'll see I kind of reloaded this unit here is where this one was before. His siege breakers here, well, before I wind blasted these ones over to the side, his siege breakers here were outside of 3 inches, but you can see one warlock was within 3 inches, just barely. If it wasn't, these guys actually are nimble and fly. They could have pivoted and jumped over and burned this token. So that's why I repositioned this unit here. I'm hoping next turn Jeff doesn't bother to shoot at this unit, and if he moves out of range of this token, or even if he moves in range of it, maybe I can get this guy to wind blast that way. I was out of 18 inches over here, and I think he's blocking it anyway. Yeah, he's triple stacked over here, so I couldn't wind blast that guy away. But my goal is, I mean, it's never a great game plan, but my hope is that maybe Jeff just leaves it undefended, and maybe he doesn't shoot my unit. Then maybe I can go burn a token that he wasn't expecting. Because we're definitely not winning on kill points this game. We're not going to power through these units. All these charges are just to block stuff up or to maybe try and finish off the regiments over here is what we're looking at. So yeah, this is how it looks for my turn 3, and results wise, that was the wind blast. Oh, we're on to Jeff's turn now. I think I might have wavered this unit again. I actually don't remember. I I think that might be the case. But yeah, lightning bolt didn't do anything or enough at least. But the wind blast was pretty useful. So Jeff's turn. He does shoot at that tormentor unit. was really hoping he wouldn't, but he does. He runs everything else forward pretty aggressively. This unit was able to get within 3 inches of the token that used to be here, um, and he out unit strength me either way because these tormentors were outside of 3 inches, so I already burnt it, even though it's not the end of the turn. So he has one burnt token and one of mine, and he's clearly controlling the center now. And then his lightning bolt keeps performing. Well, I mean, it's his nerve checks more than anything. I think he did 3 wounds over here. Rolled a 10, got a waiver. Pretty good stuff. He does kill the Tormentor troop over here. And yeah, that was his turn. So now it's my turn. Oh, and charge wise, he did charge the regiment of warriors into the front of these guys. But I believe he only wavered them. Yeah, didn't kill them. Or maybe they're not wavered, so we'll see. Anyway, my turn. I back these guys up a little bit. I'm looking at it and I say, there's another opportunity over there on that right hand side. We'll look a little closer, but so right now I'm just looking and I say I gotta keep him off this token. If he burns this token, it's game over for me, in my opinion. So I need to keep that token from getting burnt. So these guys are just coming over. These guys are just jumping in front of him. I'm hoping it's gonna take him 2 turns with siege breakers to get through a horde of scarecrows, because right now it's turn 4, so he has his turn 5, his turn 6, maybe a turn 7, and I have 2 hordes here for him to get through. So that's my goal in life right now, is to get him there. I didn't actually even charge the siege breakers. I charged the sergeant that's over here, who he was using to protect the flank of his siege breakers. So I double charged the sergeant, and yeah, and I repositioned my flesh ripper because I was looking. It's like hitting flanks. I don't think it's gonna matter. I need to just block. I need to hit the front of units and block them. So I want to save this token, and we'll look over here. I'm gonna burn this token. So because he brought his regiment of warriors off of the hill, no longer defending that token, this unit could only sidestep 3 inches, which doesn't get it in range of this token. I also I killed. Yeah, I killed the other regiment last turn with the butcher. I forgot to mention that. He only has 3 unit strength in there with Nam, the sergeant, and the chariots that got in. So one of my mind screeches had to march to get up here, but the other one was already up here on the flank, so it flew over, and it's going to wind blast this guy backwards. So this is how it looks after my turn. Also, I decide just taking a flank here isn't worth it. I'm still being protected. I'm getting cover from his lightning bolts, and I have spell ward. Um, yeah, my goal is just to be a nuisance more than anything. So the wind blast plan works. So even if we don't kill this guy, we have 3 unit strength in range, and he only has 2. So we snuck a token out, boys. That's what we needed, was just one opportunity to get a token. And yeah, we got it. We're living the life. We have a chance of drawing. In fact, we have a pretty good chance. Like I said, he has to blow through 2 hordes here, plus maybe this butcher flesh ripper. Depends on what all he puts up to potentially go after this token. So yeah, I do kill his sergeant over here, which is great. I wasn't actually planning on it because these guys were hindered. So I overrun or whatnot, or maybe I sidestep a little bit. I forget, but he's gonna have to charge me, and he's gonna be hindered. So, uh, you know, I likely survive that. He needs 4s to hit and 2s to wound. So, Yeah, and over here I did 4 wounds to his sergeant, but he's fine. Maybe I wavered him. Yeah, I think that's why I took a picture. I wavered him. Anyway, so his turn, he charges he double charges the horde. So he's hindered with siege breakers, but he has 9 fresh attacks from the regiment. Um, yeah, so that's a little bit more likely for him to break it, but still not terribly. He should have 9 hits, 8 wounds here. He should have 6 hits, 5 wounds here. So 13 wounds total. He still needs an 8. Well, brutal, so he needs a 7 twice. I like my odds with that. And then he just moved forward and said at this point he realizes, yeah, he needs this token to win the game. So he's moving this horde in position to where if I don't block it up, it can start running over. So I'm going to have to block up a bunch of units and hope that my stuff just sticks around. Um, I did kill the other regiment of ogres on the counter charge. So now his siege breakers are coming in over here. His other siege breakers decide, well, we can't let him get sneaky and burn another token, so they just turn and make sure that my mind screeches aren't going to do any flying or wind blast shenanigans. If I wind blast him, he hits the building here, so he's going to be safe. I just, yeah, there's no way he's going to leave that token undefended from a unit strength 3, and I just don't have enough left over here, so we got 1 token. Well, that's what I wanted. I wasn't expecting anything more. We had to fight for it, though. We had to sacrifice for it, I should say. I don't know if we really fought. So yeah, this is what it looks like. You know, top of what is this? 5, 4, 5, something like that. Oh, lightning bolt goes off and he kills another unit, even though I had cover and everything. Um, I was already on 3 wounds, I think. So again, not terribly unlikely, but it's just annoying. I wanted something to go my way, and man, this lightning bolt's ridiculous. But speaking of things that didn't go my way, that horde died as well. Oh, it's painful. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, boys. Um this is top of 5, and we're it's looking rough for us here. So and then he kills that unit as we expected. And he ended up healing his siege breakers, which only had like 3 wounds on him. So he does kill the butcher flesh ripper on the. I think he flank charged with this guy. That's why it was there, and then the counter. Um, so yeah. So it's gonna be my turn 5. So bottom 5, and I have to block stuff up, like I said. So that's the play. I went ahead and took the horde into the sergeant over here, making his siege breakers going to be hindered. I had to take the butcher into the front of this horde, otherwise it was just going to run straight forward and burn the token. And I also took my rear that I now have. It's hindered, but Order Rift Weavers, a lot of attacks, and then we took the regiment to the front here. So we're successfully blocking everything up, and on his turn 6, he'll have the sergeant plus the horde sergeant counter charge and the horde hindered into a fresh unit, and I'll have inspiring. So and then he needs a good overrun to get there. I think he needs a 4 or better on the overrun to make it to the token. So I like our odds at this point. And then our mind screeches are just gonna dance around, try and shoot him off over here. And timer's running a little low, so I didn't get as many pictures as I wanted here, but um, this is the story of the game though. So he he ate 3 wounds, didn't waver him, wasn't expecting to, but on the counter charge, I think the sergeant did 4 or 5 wounds by himself, which isn't unrealistic. They have elite and whatnot. But this Siegebreaker horde hindered did 12 wounds to me. So not only did he kill me, but he just brutalized me. I think I was I think he needed a 4 twice with brutal to kill the horde. So it wasn't even really a sweat for him. And then he got the 4 on the overrun, which didn't really matter. We rolled to see it. You know, he gets a turn 7, but my thought was, well, if you know, even with the turn 7, um, I countercharge the sergeant if I'm still alive, which would bring the horde further over and out of overrun to this token range if there was a turn 7. So it was, you know, he needed to kill that unit and overrun if there was a 6. The overrun doesn't matter now because there was a 7. But yeah, it was painful. Also, I think I wavered this unit last turn, so that's helpful. And then over here, he kills the butcher, turns around. He was lightning bolting this guy, but he survived, which is good. And he's up to like 9 wounds on the horde, so I'm hoping that I'm able to finish off the horde here uh, on my turn. And I believe that's where it ended. I think I shot off the sergeant on the far right with my mind screeches. Um, and that's just pretty much wrapped up where the game ended. Uh, we rolled a couple nerve tests, but nothing actually died after this um, on turn 7. So yeah, I did pick up this warrior horde, I guess. So that was something. And Jeff basically said, we gave him a couple nerve tests. He picked up both of these guys, and that was the game. So yeah, we had opportunity for the draw, which was going into the game. That was the game plan: fight for the draw. I feel pretty good that we played the scenario fairly well. I think we took the appropriate risks. Think the first one didn't pan out on the right hand side, but we were given one more opportunity and we followed through with that one, which is great. It's just a different way of playing the army when it's a bad matchup. Uh, and I think that even though this is a complete murder, uh, Jeff killed like 2,000 points. Yeah, he killed 2,000 points of my army. I only have 2 mind screeches left, and I think I killed like maybe 600 points of his. Um, it was just all about understanding the matchup and identifying how do we get maximize or minimize the loss effectively. Fight for the draw in this game because it was never about trying to get a win. And hopefully that's how this battle report came across because this is not the matchup we wanted. So uh, but yeah, anyway, we came out of this one with only 6 points. We got 5 points for the loss and 1 point for attrition. We lost our bard though, and we didn't kill his. It was on one of those siege breaker units that was never gonna die. Um, so yeah, I mean, good game on Jeffson. Very well played. A very clean player. Yeah, it was just a hard match, and I think uh, you know gotta take what's given to you. And I think there was a couple of opportunities, and we clearly had the draw we were fighting for. So, but Jeff went on to win this one, and that puts him. I don't think it put him on top table. I think the top table was actually Javier versus Jason Burr for round 5. So that's an elf on elf matchup. So Jeff is. I forget who Jeff ends up playing here. But Jeff's right up there. I think he's tied with Jason. So I don't know if it was a three-way tie between all three of them, or if there was two people that were tied. And either way, uh, Javier, Jason, and Jeff hadn't played each other yet, so two of them had to play each other, and it ended up being an elf matchup. Um, so yeah, we are knocked down to table 4, and our last opponent's going to be somebody we haven't played yet before, a new person to the channel, but well-known player. So I hope you guys check out Game 5 of Adepticon. Should be out shortly. Appreciate you all for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.